All right. Hey, hello out there. Welcome to episode 11. We have a special guest here today. We have Chris Cleveland. He's an excellent man over here, great guy. His son and my son are very good friends. That's how we became friends here on this. And we'll get into details and the depth about Chris here in a little bit. But he's, this podcast is always about youth sports, and Chris does coach too. He coaches youth basketball. Since the baseball season's over, we're about to start up hockey season. So Chris is a basketball coach, so he can enlighten us about what he feels about the basketball side of this.
We might be here a while.
That's what it's about. I love it. I love hearing that. And again, welcome to the Get Off My Lawn Studios.
Come on.
The podcast of the Beer League. Gonna get that clap.
Ooh, nice, very nice. Well done. Thanks for having me, man.
No problem.
I'm glad to be here. You bet.
Well, first things we always do is our sponsors.
Okay.
We do our sponsors, and first, we got a first sponsor here. We have the Butter Bash. Butter Bash here is it's a great thing that's going to happen here downtown Nashville. We have Butter Fortney is doing the Butter Bash.
It's going to be a country game show, basically.
Yeah, like you said in the past, if you go to Vegas to see the Blue Man Group, come to Nashville, do the Butter Bash, bar mitzvahs, wedding parties,
corporate parties. Corporate
if
people.
If you've thought
people
about having a party,
exactly.
This is the place to be.
And don't go downtown and do those beer wagons.
This requires no cardio.
Exactly. You sit there and you laugh, and it's a great time. It's a fun time. Everyone gets together and it's interaction, and they enjoy it. There he is. There's Butter. And our second sponsor is Body Works Massages.
Oh, yeah.
We already know that. That's the best massage therapist in Middle Tennessee. Not because she's my wife, but it is.
School's starting up. It's time to get back in the grind. You need to loosen up.
Absolutely.
Go see him.
The stress of the summer of all of us, because school. You got school when? This Monday?
No. We don't go till the 18th.
Wow. 18th?
I know, right?
Yeah, it's nice. We're going to get another beach week in there.
Oh, you really?
Oh, yeah.
That's my wife and my son are right now in Florida. They're flying in now.
Yeah, you gotta make the most, because it's about to get hectic with youth sports.
Oh boy.
We're in the middle of it.
Yes.
Baseball's easy in the summertime, right? But now it's going to be 3 o'clock and then 4 o'clock, and then everything's going to get going.
Rink and getting cold and getting colds, and then you doing basketball.
I'm having to learn new sports this year.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I've got one son who's decided he likes soccer.
Okay.
Never played soccer in my life.
He's a soccer
Okay, well,
guy.
maybe you can teach me a few things, because I got no. We went to our first MLS game we did Nashville versus Aston Villa yesterday. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a good
Have no
stadium.
idea what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know that I've been to those games either. I like more of the European stuff. I'm not like a huge.
Well, they played a
watch
Premier
soccer
League
guy.
team yesterday, which was kind of cool.
That's what makes it fun.
But they ended in a tie, and I don't know about
that's the
sports
thing
and
about
ties.
soccer.
Too many times.
You got to have a
Win or
penalty
lose.
kick. They should just go to kicks. There should never be a tie.
That's where I fall asleep. We had a rule. We had a rule back in New York, and we would go on the phone, and we switch around a channel, and we hit soccer, and you had the clicker,
Yep.
Everyone had the clicker, and you go through a certain channel because you can't find anything on TV, bang, you hit soccer. There was a rule, you can't turn it off until there was a goal scored.
Oh, you guys sit there a while.
So, yeah, it was brutal. So we'd sit there and I'd call my buddy, hey, dude, you see the Sunshine? Check this channel. Oh, you son of a... And I'm like, oh, yeah, I gotta watch it. I gotta watch the game until someone scores a goal.
Hey,
I kind of like that.
Soccer's on.
I like it.
All right, do our other sponsor. Here we go.
So we probably will touch base a little bit on some music today, I assume, but Yodel music is something that we're excited about. We're hoping to have some exciting new developments. I know that Matt's been working with a lot of people, but Yodel is a place where you can go to find music, find live music, find bands. If you're a venue and you need somebody to play on the 4th floor of your honky-tonk on Tuesday night, you can find somebody on Saturday night, any night. This is a really cool place to just kind of get together and help musicians get paid faster because, it takes a lot of courage to be out there on the road, to pursue your dream like that. And so if you can get more money and you can get it faster, then you can keep going, right? You have a better shot of making it. So Yodel Music is a really good way to try to get that dream off the ground.
I love it's interactive 3 ways, from the artist to the venue and the fan. Everyone gets to touch each other. Crazy, but it's the words we're using, so it's actually cool.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
All right. All right, let's get back to Chris over here. Chris, again, thanks so much on your busy schedule. And Chris just came out of basketball practice already.
We did. We came from one small season. We're starting a new one this week, and so we were doing like what do they call it? When they kind of assess all the kids. So it was an assessment today, putting kids in teams and stuff. So
ain't that weird?
It's been a crazy day.
You throw them out there, they have a number, and they're doing all these things, and you go, oh, can you write notes? And you feel bad writing somebody's notes. That is not that good. I always hated that.
I mean, this league we're in right now, I kind of like it because they're trying to make the teams fair-ish, so that no one's getting beat by 60, every game. And especially at this age, I mean, my oldest son, he's going into 7th grade. And I think they just need to be taught. They still can't walk down the court. They grow 5 inches and forget how to run, right? So they need to learn how to play the game well. And so I think at these ages, this like 6th, 7th, 8th grade, that's when you learn how to play sports. And so having an opportunity where somebody will actually coach you or you get the reps, I think is important, rather than just throwing them into like AAU and hope like 100 games helps them play. You know what I mean? And they don't learn anything. And so this has been okay, but there's some kids who are not great. There's some kids who are pretty good. Like if you're tall in basketball at this age, you win. And if you're coordinated kind of at all, then you're pretty good. And so like in these next couple of years, like between 6th and 8th grade, I think is when kids really start figuring it out and figuring out if they're going to be any good, going forward. So
I think also too on that, is that Greg? You think I still hear something. We got a little League World Series on the background here.
Well, don't get them started.
Don't get me. That's later on. But it's cool because the kids are at this age, right?
Yep.
It's still on there. Yeah, we still go. That's it. There it is. I think puberty is the biggest thing right now. There's a huge separation.
Right.
When kids hit puberty, before other kids hit puberty, then you go, wow, that kid's so athletic. He's bigger, he's strong, and you go, we want that kid.
Right.
But it's not that way later on.
Yeah, you hit 9th grade, 10th grade, it's going to even itself out. We played some teams this past year. We did a competitive basketball league where we're kind of traveling. And Nashville's nice because you don't have to travel, really. There's enough kids around here, but we go from like little county to county, just around, so 30-minute drive or something. But there's some good teams, and we played. It's basically that like 6th to 8th grade ish, but we played some teams that there were kids on the team with bigger arms than me. You know what I mean? There were men on these teams, and some of them I thought, okay, I remember that. I remember playing a kid like that, like. That kid, he hit puberty a little early. He's killing everybody in 7th grade, but he's not going to grow anymore, right? He's probably done at 5'7", yep. And he's the biggest kid now, but he we'll see how that goes. And so I'm telling King, who's my son, I was like, just hold on, and kind of even in my head, trying not to push him further than he needs to be pushed, knowing it's like, okay, if he holds out, like the longer actually before he hits puberty, the better. Mm-hmm. Because then maybe he's going to be taller or whatever those things are. And so, just work on the fundamentals. If you can dribble a ball, if you can shoot a ball, if you can make the right decisions, then all that other stuff is going to come.
Those early bloomers probably get some bad habits, right? As they can just kind of dominate based on size.
Some of it's that. Some of it's like you see this a lot in basketball too, where you might be a huge kid when you're young. I mean, I was kind of like this. I haven't grown. I've been the same size since my sophomore year of high school. And so, but I was a big kid. And so what happens to a lot of kids like that is like, oh, you're the big guy on the team. So we're just going to pass the ball down to you, hit a layup, get your rebound, whatever. So they don't learn how to dribble. They don't learn how to do all these things. So now they're 6 feet tall. They don't get any taller. So they're not the tall kid anymore, but they can't handle. And so in high school, they have a lot harder time. And so you see that kind of thing a lot more. And so I think for me, it's like, go back to the fundamentals, dribble, shoot, do those things right. And I don't care if we win. I don't care. I say that if you see me on the video, I try not to care if we're doing all of those other things right. Because at this age, if you play a kid who's 6 foot tall, you're going to lose. You know what I mean?
Right now,
it just is what it is.
They just teach them the game, learn the fundamentals, develop.
That's right.
It's kind of funny you say that because I actually, there was this morning I woke up and I saw a little post on Facebook and it set me off a little bit.
It's bad for you.
How many times a day does that happen to you?
Every time he opens Facebook.
So I watch Facebook and I see this. I see the person says, I can't believe these organizations, yes, your kid made the team, but they won't tell us the name of your team until you pay us, and who's on your team, what's your coaches, and if you're on the A or B team. So then I got mad. And so I said a little blurb about it, basically saying that, who cares? Who cares the 12U, the 10U, 8U, whatever it is, who cares? If the organization is good and helps you develop your players, your son or daughter, whatever it is, that's the organization you want. You don't want people that chase wins. Wins are nice, don't get me wrong. Everyone wants to win.
Right.
But more than anything else, you want your kid to develop. In a lot of these organizations and some of these crazy parents, all they care about is that 6-cent ring that they have. They go like, look at me, look at little Johnny. He won. He came in second in the losers bracket. So it's not even the winners bracket.
Yeah.
And he's showing his ring like this. Little Johnny had a great day. But it was just like, what's wrong with these people? But it is an arms race. I guess this is the common.
It feels crazy. I turned 40 this year. I played a lot of sports growing up. Like I played soccer when I was real young. That didn't last long. I played baseball, and I had an older brother, which helped. So I always played up baseball. So I'm like 11 playing 15, under baseball, and which was awesome. I honestly should have stuck with that because my high school they're one of the best baseball high schools in America and have been for like the last 30 years.
Well, tell us a little bit about where you're from.
So I'm from Oklahoma. I grew up in a little town called Owasso, and so if you follow like high school baseball, Owasso baseball is crazy. Girl I went to high school with, she was in my grade. Her dad is a coach. His name's Larry Turner. And they just, you don't go to college from Owasso. You get drafted.
Really?
It's that kind of, it's that kind of thing. So a lot of major league players and people like that, and just really successful program.
Is that close to the holidays?
Yeah, Broken Arrow.
Yeah.
Same conference.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, because Ethan Holliday got drafted 4th overall, and there was another kid, a shortstop, who got drafted out of high school over there too, the number 1 pick out of Oklahoma.
Yeah, he's probably, it's going to be an Owasso or Broken Arrow or Union kid or something. Yeah.
I think it was Union. I got to look at that again.
Yeah.
Double check.
I haven't kept up with it as much. I don't think Owasso won this year, but I do think they were in the state game again. They're in the state game almost every year,
really? As
far back as I can remember. It's kind of crazy. Wow. They're just, it's insane what they've done. I think he's actually the most winningest high school baseball coach, which is crazy.
That's nuts.
And I quit at 13. I could have had 4 state championships. I could have been just sweeping the dugout. You know what I mean? Getting those rings. That's right. That's right.
Too.
Instead, I played basketball. We won about 9 games, in 4 years.
Hey, but you know what? You loved it, didn't you?
I did. I did love it. I did. But back then it was different. I played like 1 summer of AAU, and it was so awful that we just never did it again. I did 1 kind of national camp, and it was just so crazy that I didn't want that much to do with it. And I do think there's benefit to some of that stuff, but it's gotten crazy.
It's nuts.
It's almost. I've got a cousin who he was a national champion wrestler, and wrestling is a whole thing on this. when it comes to travel and all these things. And so he's got a son who's been doing this since he's like 6, 7. Every weekend is another wrestling tournament. When it's not wrestling, they do baseball, they do football, it's the same stuff you guys are doing with baseball and hockey. And he's been winning state championships since he was 7, and he's finally in high school now. And it's like, okay, you think this kid should be in college at this point. When I grew up, it was like there was some of that. Like you could go out and find that, but it just wasn't as crazy. And my parents kind of sheltered me from it a bit. They're like, no, we're going to go on the vacations. We're going to go do this. It was just a little bit different. Does that help or hurt you when it comes to college and stuff at this point? I really don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But
if you keep playing, right?
Right. If you can keep up with it. I think that's my thing. Is like, I could force Kingston, for example, and he'd probably do it. And we're doing more and more. We're not year round at this point, but we're kind of we're starting to get there. But I still don't know if I want him traveling and doing all that stuff. I'm like, I walked in the gym today to 200 kids who were like good, and it's like, no, you got to beat these 200 before we go to Florida, and face those 10,000 kids. It's like, be the best here. It's like, if you can be the best in your, JV rec league, then move to the next one. And so
does he have the fire for that, or do you have the fire for that?
I have way more fire for it than he does, and his mom does too, which is fun. It's actually the fun part about this is we've just accepted that we're the parents that yell.
You don't yell.
Oh,
do you really?
I really do.
He's got some pipes.
And
why not use them?
Well, what's scary is I try to keep it kind of at like normal level. I'm talking to myself loudly most of the time, but occasionally I can kind of pull it out. And there was one game, this might happen every couple games where it comes out. I scared the ref, like kind of in front of me, and I yelled and
encouraging him.
It was, I was
good call.
Trying to, it had nothing to do with the ref. I was trying to tell Kingston to do something, and, but it was so loud. It was like, oh, I can maybe actually project a little louder than most people.
I think you can.
Yeah. And so I have to check myself there. But Kenzie, she's sitting next to me and she's just going off, Oh yeah.
Oh, see, that's good.
It's kind of awesome.
Thank God, that's awesome that you have a side person that just goes. And you just do.
She's worse than I am, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
See, my wife is embarrassed by me, and I don't get loud. I don't get loud. I may curse a little bit here and there, but that's why this is here.
That's true. You don't get loud. You just get like bold with what you'll say.
Yeah, exactly. My wife gets so mad, and she doesn't, but she'll occasionally go. Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's it. That's a little fire up.
Yeah.
But I would love to watch you guys.
There's always one that they got to keep the other in line, right?
Yeah.
Usually,
I also go
wife.
like I claim I'm like center court. I want the closest bleacher. I'm coaching the team, no matter what. So I don't care if there's other coaches or what's going on. I'm in the stands. I'm coaching the players. And this last season, I didn't coach King's team, and some other guys did, and it was a good experience. So I would sit on the front row of the bleachers on the opposite side. So when the players were on my side, because I'd help them practice and stuff. So then I'm coaching them from the other side of the court, And then I just kind of have to like catch myself after every game. I go, Kens, man, I think maybe I overstepped on this one. I'm not quite sure.
I don't know that Mr.
Yeah, occasionally.
This guy,
I read this book.
This may change the way you approach things here.
Okay.
He encourages the parents to be silent.
Okay.
To be silent sources of encouragement is what he says. And I don't know if that's possible.
When I coach with my baseball in an earlier podcast, at my first opening day with parents is like coming in and giving the expectations, and I always say, if you haven't read it, read the Matheny Manifesto.
I might need to read it. I'm trying to. I'm not saying 90% of what I want to say. And what comes out is much nicer than where it starts out at. You know what I mean? And to be fair, Well, most of it's directed at my kid. I'm not like coaching ever. Although some of these kids, if I get to know them, like I'll let them know if they have and usually it's if it's an attitude or something like that, or saying like running their mouths at refs or something. I'll holler at you, Absolutely. Be like, you sit down, kind of thing. Especially if their dads aren't up there, because at this age, I'm like, no, we're not going to do that.
I coach you. You're friends with my son. I would, and as a parent, I'd be like, go ahead, rip my kid.
Yeah. I think sometimes I accidentally do that. I'm like, I think since I had kids, I parent every kid the same way.
It's
sometimes
useful, though.
On accident. Yeah.
Some of them need it, but it's great to have another voice because that makes you think a little bit different. It gives them pause.
Yeah. I was coaching a couple of years ago, and we had this kid, and it was intense. And in some of these tiny little, elementary school gyms, it's metal everywhere, wood, it's loud. So and we've got some intense games. I'm trying to holler. I'm having to yell, for my kids just to hear me. And we had this game. It came down kind of the end. I can't remember who won, who lost, but one of our kids real into it. And he just he let it go a little too hard. And he hit a kid hard. Oh. And I think he was just trying to foul, but it was too hard, too rough kind of thing. And my first, I didn't run, but I came out on the court and I grabbed his jersey. And I picked him up, and I was like, "You're not doing that on my team." And I literally kind of picked this kid up by his jersey and set him down, on the bench. And afterwards I was like, "Oh crap, that's not my kid," So I had to go find his dad. I was like, "Hey, I kind of went total dad mode there. I'm sorry, didn't mean to put my hands on your kid." He was like, "Oh no, that's fine," And it was a fine situation, but I was like, oh gosh.
It could have went south.
It could have went south, yeah. Because I was just, it was the first reaction. I was like, nope, you're out of here. Yeah. Get the situation calmed down. And
you know what? And as a coach and even as a parent too, these are your kids too. As a coach, these are my kids. I protect my kids. And if you act up, I'm going to treat you like one of my kids.
Yeah.
And it's true, and I'm okay with it too. But again, you have certain parents that out there don't you touch my kid.
Yeah.
He's the best. Don't do that. I'm like, well, if you took care of business at home, this wouldn't happen.
Well, man, and we all lose it, in those moments. And that one, I was like, oh crap. It hit me afterwards. I was like, dang it, I got to take care of this. Shouldn't have done that, This weird little rec league,
No, that's the fun part, though. You're out there, you're teaching these kids what's right and what's wrong. Yes, you're coaching, but you're a life lesson coaching. Out of those kids, how many are going to play college basketball?
Yeah, none of them, maybe. And I think the fun part for me is when you see them actually kind of get it, and you see the light bulbs turn on and whatever it is. And or it may not be every game, but it's like the game clicks and it's like, oh, I'm good at this, I can do this. Like the first game, my son in the little rec leagues, they would shut you off at 22 points, and he maxed them out and won the game and did all this stuff. And I'm like, that game can take you years, because it's like, okay, I did it, I know I can do it, I belong here. Now where do we go? Seeing kids kind of figure that out is really, really fun.
It is good to see that their confidence build them too. And you're
right.
Like, wait a second. And it took so long, and you're like, yes. That one kid that finally gets the hit, or first home run that they hit, you're more prouder of it than anybody.
Right. Yeah.
Like, yes, even if it's not your kid, you're like, yeah, that's it. This is it. You got it. And then they take off like that.
Right.
The leadership skills that haven't been. It's absolutely. I agree. It seems it's very, very similar. Basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer. It's just teaching the kids to be right.
Yeah, I think it's really sports at this age are developing character, right? I actually want my kid to lose some games.
Absolutely.
We played this travel league and we got thumped, some games. I'm like, no, you need to get whooped sometimes, because there's more lessons in that than others. And I know you and I've talked about this, and I even think I'm learning lessons in this same space. We went through the tryout kind of thing last year for the first time. And here it's 6th, 7th, 8th grade together, which is crazy to me. I think it's stupid, especially when you're developing kids. I think you should be.
And an 8th grader.
6th grader and 8th grader are not comparable.
Absolutely not.
Like, there were some 8th graders today on the court. There were 10 guys playing before King went out there. His age, in his group, there were 6 guys bigger than me. I mean, it was crazy. And I'm like, King, these guys are your age. He was like, what? I'm
Were
like,
they dunking?
they could? I mean, if they knew how to walk, you know.
It's like baby deer.
Yeah,
They still learn
exactly.
the body language.
But I think it's good to have that kind of adversity a bit. And, you know, going through the tryout thing, you know, King didn't make the team his first year. And I've told you this before, but it's like, I think I actually learned a lesson, because I keep wanting Kingston to have like this aggressiveness or assertiveness that I gained over a whole lifetime of playing sports, playing in high school and college and all these things, which he may never do. And I want him to pick it up where I'm at, you know. And after this thing, I had all these reasons why I was upset, you know, and all that I could validate and all these things. And he was fine. He like took it in stride, was cool, like understood it. And I was like, oh man, actually maybe you don't need to have my assertiveness or my aggressiveness or my competitive drive.
Right now, King is the most sweetest kid
He is.
ever. He really is. I don't think he's got a mean bone in his body. He's just like, he's the easiest going kid I have ever met.
That's it.
It's so cool, and he's actually even easier than D, which is surprising.
which is surprising.
Like, D, you alive? You alive? And he's like, yeah, man. King, are you alive? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, man. They're just content, man. They're just hanging out.
Oh, it's great, man. That's pretty good. All right, so yeah, you're in this draft, like when you're drafting your kids too.
Yep.
What do you really look for? You know, because it's like you can always say, I want the best kid, but you know, a team is a team, and you want to gel it a certain way. Yes, you want to have the superstar, but what else? Like, say if you're picked 10th overall, you know, what are you looking for?
I think the most important thing, I'm trying to teach Kingston this, and even like my son who's learning how to play soccer and doesn't know anything about soccer, right? He kind of taught me a lesson in this at the end of last season, and we had this game, and he's really just learning even what the positions do and where they stand and how
old
you
is
move. He's just turned 9.
Okay.
So 8 years old, and so it's not great. He can't really run and kick the ball well. You know, he's figuring it out. But there was one game where, like, the ball's out in front of him, and he was a defender, and he's chasing this guy down. I mean, he caught up to him, was way out in front of him, caught up to him, and kind of interrupted the play, got the ball out or something after the game. And it was noticeable. I was like, that was a good play. You know, I don't know anything about soccer. That was a good play. And he's like, Dad, one of my goals today was to not get beat, you know, was to make it, you know, and beat somebody to the ball and that thing. I was like, you did that, like, you know. And so for me, what I'm looking for in players is that kind of thing, is like, who is going to work the hardest, right? So for me, when I was growing up, I wasn't the most athletic. I was probably pretty average, but I worked harder than everybody. There was not a drill. There wasn't a sprint. There wasn't one thing that I wasn't going to show up and compete for and like put my life on the line to win in any practice, in anything, right? And so I want kids who will listen, who are coachable, who are humble but assertive, and who will try hard. And so when it comes to like practices and things like that, I'm like, I want you to go all out, because this is the place to mess up, right? We can screw up as much as we want to here.
I love that line. You know, that's a great go all out in practice. You can screw up here. You can't screw up in the game.
Yeah.
In the game. I love that.
You've got to practice the mistakes, and you've got to practice at the speed that you're going to play in games. You know, Kingston in games, he shoots long a lot. because he's got more nerves than you can manufacture in a practice.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, buddy, you need to get your first 3 shots out of the way real quick and kind of sight it in because you're excited, and so the ball's going to go a foot further than you think it's going to. You've got to be able to try to manufacture that as much as you can in practice. And having kids that don't like walk through practices.
I wonder if you can teach that or try to get people to learn the hard work, or if it's just some people have it and some people don't.
I think it's both.
I think it could be both too. I know it's hard, and we said this before. It's like I think we have more passion. I'm going to tell you why. We have more passion than sometimes our kids.
Oh, for sure.
And you're like, you don't want to. You're not living your life through your kid, but you just want to give them a little bump in the butt.
Yeah, it's like, I've done this one before. Can I get you a year ahead or whatever it is? Yeah.
So, I mean, now let me ask you another crazy question.
Okay.
When it gets down to the last couple of rounds, that kid's really good. He's a hard worker, but I'm not dealing with the parents.
Luckily, I haven't had any parents quite like that yet, which is nice. Although I kind of invite that sort of interaction. I enjoy it. So I haven't been too intimidated by too many people before.
Okay.
But also I'm also the guy that's like, oh, your kid's 10 times better than mine. Cool, let's give him the ball. Like, you know what I mean? It's I've done both. I've had teams where Kingston was not the best player, and I'm like, well, we're going to find the roles for all of these kids. And then I've had teams where I was like, okay, we're going like a 4 corners offense, and basically it's ISO for Kingston to hit layups all day, And so it's a little bit of a balance, but I think if your goal is developing the kids, then it really doesn't matter that much. And I kind of try to make those expectations clear for the parents at the front of the season. It's like, hey, hopefully we're going to win some games. We'll see. But your kid for sure will be a better player and a better person at the end of the season than when we started, one way or another.
That's perfect. I love to hear that too. Now, have you picked a kid that you thought was everything that you thought it was going to be, and then when you got out there, you go, that's not it?
Yeah, I think I've had a couple of those where you get like first draft and you pick the kid and you're like, and sometimes, especially at this age, it's like, it'd be a lot easier for me to tell like a 14-year-old, or a 15-year-old. But here it's like, oh, you may have had an afternoon where you just couldn't miss, right? Or you're just looking at the kid who might be the most athletic or is the tallest or he can dribble a little bit. So in basketball at this age, you're like, if you have a point guard and you've got a tall kid,
you're set.
You're set.
You're set. That's exactly.
And so then it's like figuring out all the other stuff in between. And I've actually found that a lot of the soccer kids that come over and play basketball, like this happened a few times where we've got soccer kids that come, they understand like spacing and defense and things like that, how to like hang with their player really well. So it's easier to teach defense. It's easier to teach like running down the court and things like that. And so you see some of these kids who are playing multiple sports, kind of it clicks a little bit quicker and easier for them as well. And so then you're just looking and trying to plug and play with what works. Exactly. And there's some coaching to it. If you're trying to win a game, you're like, okay, obviously there's a mismatch here or there, and you try and do that. And I've always tried to coach, my guys. But really it's like, can I get these kids at this age, to just work harder than the other team? Yeah. And at this age, most of the time, they're about the same skill level. So whoever works harder wins, I mean, to sell that with your kids and to buy in on it, that's a great thing too. I know it was always almost sometimes impossible for my teams. It's like, all right, we're going to work hard. That means run out. That means hustle up. That means, hey, it's okay. Pat your buddy on the back because he struck out. Doesn't matter. Don't yell at him. But those type of things. Run. Let's go. And in baseball, it's a little harder, because it's not like it's such a slower paced game.
Yes.
Basketball, you can get amped up, like, and feel the emotion of it. Baseball, it's more of like a pressure situation, like who can handle and stay calm under like the stress of something. So it's just a little bit different.
What was your favorite sport growing up when you played? What was it?
My favorite, early on, it's probably always basketball, is my guess. But I loved baseball for a long, long time.
What were you better at?
I was really good at baseball.
Okay.
When I was little. Okay. And then I had this.
Bigger.
I was bigger. Yeah, honestly, it probably was that because I could get around on it. I had an arm. I could like hit home plate from center field if I needed to, and whatever the 198-foot fence that we had. And but I played center and short, and I was just pretty good. I was a big kid, and so I had a coach that coached my age. And he was kind of the commissioner of the league that I was in, but I was playing up with my brother, and he didn't let me play up that year because he wanted me on his team and my age, and so I just quit.
Really?
And I just never played again.
How'd your parents say about that?
I think they probably, like my parents were kind of like, I think they were probably tired of sitting at the fields like on Saturdays in July, and so they may have encouraged me just to,
in Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's right. And so they may have encouraged me to just do basketball, but I always loved basketball. Yeah. For some reason, it was just kind of the thing for me, and so from very early on, like I started taking piano lessons from the head basketball coach's wife.
Really?
Not because I loved, like I thought piano was going to be my career, which it became. But I was like, no, I'm going to make the high school team because I've given this woman a bunch of money, put 5 years of piano lessons in, you know what I mean? And then my sophomore year, that coach took a job in a different city, but it worked out for me anyway. So
I think it did.
Yeah,
I'm going to let it.
it was all right. I don't think he would have started me in high school, and so the new coach did at least. And
who was your favorite? Basketball you like playing at. Who was your favorite player or your favorite team in basketball growing up? Because Oklahoma didn't have a team.
We didn't have a team then, and so, I mean, I grew up in the Michael Jordan years, so I caught as a little kid those years. So MJ's the GOAT, and then to me now it's Kobe. So like when I was a teenager, when I was like playing, Kobe was the best, you know. And so I'm probably a Kobe guy now. What I'm really enjoying now though, and this is very recent because LeBron and I are the same age. So I remember seeing like the Max Preps like rankings, and they would hang like in our high school in the locker room. And I see LeBron like number one, you know, all through high school. And so I've always been aware of who he was, you know. And so what I love now, though, is this brawny LeBron in LA. And I totally like see the nepotism and all of the stuff. And I just, and I, a little bit. And I don't care. I'm like, man, if I could get my kid on my team and play, that'd be freaking awesome. It's awesome. And I've been a LeBron hater his entire career for 21 years. Okay. And this season, I'm like, he averaged 27 points a game or something. Like, he's still averaging at 40 MVP type stats. And I'm like, my body hurts. And I know his does too. Like, he's doing something. So I cannot discredit Bron at this point.
Well, I think the reason why I don't like him, and I know, like you were saying earlier, you don't like him, is the comparison of Jordan. Don't you dare compare him to Jordan. That's where I get pissed. Like, you do not compare LeBron James to Jordan. And you see the videos of him flopping every time.
It's almost incomparable, right? You can like, and every generation has kind of this thing, and there's going to be somebody else, you know, at some point. But and we'll see. But I think it's like Kobe and Jordan, you can kind of compare because they're the same player. You know what I mean? And so Kingston and I dive deep into this. He knows stats like crazy, better than me at this point.
He just rattles them off, and he has no idea either. But you know, then lately he's like, this guy. I'm like, what's that guy?
Yeah, I don't know.
Him and King are just talking about basketball. I'm like,
They're all in. He's like Sports Center all day kind of thing. And so we'll compare players like that. So it's like we'll get into the more nitty gritty. It's like, well, who's the best power forward, or who's the best shooter, or just straight up point guard or whatever. So we have a lot of those conversations.
I really didn't get into basketball I will say the last 10 years. Prior to that, I loved the Knicks. I loved it with Oakley and Ewing, and that was great. Then they sucked.
Yeah, they've been bad for a long time.
Until this year.
Yep.
And I was like, me and Dee was like, Dad, Knicks are on, let's go watch them. Like, all right, cool, we watch the Knicks game. And then when I went to New York and they played Indiana, they were up 17 points with 3 minutes, and then you got that moron Towns trying to throw threes up by 17 instead of just killing clock and then driving, getting 2, letting them go back, he decides to start heaving threes, banking, and then they lose. I knew right after they lost that game, it's over.
Yep.
And they did lose, which it hurts a little bit. Still just say it hurts a little bit. But the problem is, and they go ahead and fire the coach.
Man.
Did you hear what he said? He goes, I'm happy. He goes, because I don't have to coach Towns anymore.
Yeah, I knew they didn't like each other from a previous thing, and then I think they kind of got forced together. I don't know. We'll see if they got any better in the offseason. Mike Brown is a good coach, so we'll see what he can do. But
Brunson ain't playing defense.
No, I mean, Brunson is a crazy player.
Oh, he's great.
But he's got to ISO, and he's got to kind of do his own thing. So it'll be interesting to see how the new coach does with them. But they're good.
Yeah, no,
and they've got a shot. I mean, Celtics are not going to be a contender next year. They're going to have to get through Cleveland, essentially.
They choked this year.
They did.
They really choked.
It was bad.
Wow. Best record, and they choked.
Second best, but no big deal.
Okay, I wonder why. So obviously that's his favorite basketball team, Oklahoma City.
I'm
We're gonna have to hold this till later. We've got a whole segment about his preferences. Let's not
okay,
get
we
ahead
can
of
do that.
ourselves.
All right,
We got to get off my lawn.
All right.
later on.
We gotta stop that.
I'll get off your lawn.
Yeah, there you go. No, we'll show you. All right, so that's your side, and we're talking about your coaching side, basketball side. But other than that, it was the funniest thing is and I never realized this with Chris, and it's great because we do live in an area here that I have no idea what my neighbors are. I really don't. I met you because of Dee and Kingston and friends, and we walk on Halloween every year. We walk together on Halloween. We talk, we rap, and have a good time. And I knew Chris was a musician. Okay, I mean, we're in Nashville, all right. Yeah.
Everybody is.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, all right. But no, Chris is a real musician. He's the real deal. And I had no idea. Even so much to the point of, recently, my wife's like, oh, yeah, we got invited to go to a concert Chris is playing. I said, all right, cool, yeah. Anyway, I knew you were a singer, but even, let's rewind a little bit more. Our kids play in the band together, cello.
Yeah, that's right.
Cello. And then Chris.
Dee plays the cello?
He does.
I thought he played the bass.
He does play the bass too, but he plays the cello. That's how he became a bass player, because he plays the cello. Kingston plays the cello too.
Parker.
Parker, okay.
Yeah, Parker.
Parker plays the cello. I mean, and everybody's there, and I'm like, and all of a sudden, Chris is there. He goes, I'm going to be singing. What? He goes, so it was actually so cool that the kids played the music and he sung. He sung one of his songs. And I go, nice. I know that song. I've heard that song before. I'm like, wait a second. He really is a real musician too. And I'm like, wow. And we talked, you said you're always on tour. You're away a lot. You're on tour. I'm like, okay. Wait, it's just started clicking. But so now fast forward to a couple weeks ago, and Tammy's like, oh yeah, we got invited to go to a concert for you. And I'm like, all right, yeah, cool. And they're like, oh, he's playing the Grand Ole Opry. I'm like, what? Grand Ole Opry? All right, cool. That was huge. I mean, absolutely huge to play the Grand Ole Opry. And then I get there, and a friend of mine goes, oh, what are you doing this Sunday? I said, I'm going out to go see a buddy of mine play the Grand Ole Opry. He goes, who's playing? I said, a whole bunch of people. I said, hold on. I bring it up. I go, holy crap. It's Jamie Johnson's birthday? So you played for Jamie Johnson's birthday.
I did, yeah.
First things first, how did it feel going on that stage and playing on the Grand Ole Opry in front of, I mean, I have a video. Did I send you the video of it? I think I did.
A while ago. You send me lots of things. I can't keep track of everything.
And it was packed house.
Yeah.
Packed house. And I've never been to a concert at the Grand Ole Opry. And it was kind of weird how they did. They had like a guy sitting on
Yeah, like an MC kind of thing, yeah.
It was the coolest thing. It was like a radio station.
It is, and they broadcast it like live. I think every time they do it, it was cool. Growing up in Oklahoma, you probably don't know about the Grand Ole Opry as much from the Northeast, but like a Southern thing on radio, it was something that was part of like my grandparents' lives. And so you're just aware of it, and it's one of those. It's almost like a rite of passage in Nashville. There's a couple cool places you can play. It's like the Bluebird is kind of cool, and the Grand Ole Opry. And there's a few places like in the country that are kind of like that. That are just like, man, that's cool, and it's cool because everyone else has done it, and it means something. And so that was my first time to play there, and it was cool. It was with. Jamie Johnson, tons of people, and he was really kind. Crowd was good. It was good.
How did he get you to do it? Did all of a sudden you paid him? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had nothing to do with it. Is I think just part of kind of their programming. And so this year's the 100th anniversary, and so they're doing 100 debuts this year, and so mine just happened to be on his night, and let me come in and play a couple songs and do the thing. It worked out.
It worked out a lot. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Are you getting a lot of push with that after that?
Yeah, I mean, in this world, it's
because I have no idea about the music industry.
Well, it's not his first rodeo. I mean, he's been doing this a while.
It's quite literally not my first rodeo.
That was one of my episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've been traveling and touring since I was 10 years old. So I've been playing.
So how'd you get into music? Like, where did it start? While you were doing sports, how'd you have time? How'd you get bit?
I mean, my parents were really religious, grew up in church, this kind of thing. And so, honestly, sports and music kind of happened at the same time because the church had a gym. Right. And so I was playing basketball all the time. I always had access to a gym, which was awesome. And then my parents were like youth ministers and music people. And so I got thrown into that. It's like, hey, we need somebody to play the songs. And so from a really young age, I started doing that too. And so somehow I just never stopped doing it. And so even through like high school, the music built at the same time that that sports kind of did its thing. And so even into college, I couldn't decide. So I went to my first school and was pursuing like music, and then was like, nope. I transferred to another school to play basketball mid-semester, and like walked onto the team. And I came on at semester. They were 1-11, and we finished the season 16-16.
All right.
And then I broke my ankle, and game before nationals, and was like, well, I guess this music thing, I'll start doing that again. And then I just never stopped.
It's nice to have a fallback.
Yeah, and so
your sports career goes.
So once I realized that basketball probably wasn't going to get me anywhere, the music stuff really took off, and it's just been one of those things that I just never stopped doing. And it, like, doors continue to open. And I think thinking on it now, it's like we were joking around before, it's like, I don't want my kids to be musicians, but I don't know many people who, unless you like have a family company or something that you want to give your kids, would be like, I want my kids to have my life. Because I think if you were shown all of the hardships and all of the things that it would take to get there, you probably like, I wouldn't have done this,
Well, it's kind of like sports nowadays where you've got to have the mental toughness to keep going, right? I mean, you've got to not give up and you've got to be driven.
It is. And honestly, maybe I probably learned some good lessons. Like, we were so bad in high school. We were so bad. Luckily, I was the best kid on a bad team, if that's good or not. But I got to learn disappointment, early.
Yeah.
Now my problem is I always expected to win. So we had one season, I think my sophomore year, we won 2 games, right? I'm pissed every game we lose, every single one. And when we win one of those 2, do I celebrate? Am I excited? No, sir. That's what I came to do. You know what I mean?
Well,
and so, yeah, exactly.
Won by 50.
And so I've had to, honestly, as an adult, like unlearn that. Like, and that's something I think my wife and I's relationship, she's very good at celebrating. And it's one of the things that makes me love her, and that she forces me to do. And our kids do really well. But I think a lot of that learning helped me in the music world because it's 99% no's, you know? And so when things like the Opry happen, you learn over time. Now, you know, at 40, it's like, oh no, it's pretty freaking cool. Yeah. Like, let's enjoy this, and had a bunch of family in and celebrated it. And it was just fun.
I had no idea. And then all of a sudden I'm going, this place is packed.
It's like 5,000 people, something like that.
It's packed, and it's such, and you get to learn a little bit more. I mean, again, especially from the Northeast, I have no idea, but the value and how important it is to be in that circle.
Yeah.
That circle, like they said, to be in that circle, it's something that every musician comes to Nashville to want to be in.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a sports equivalent in there, you know, some sort of Hall of Fame type of, you know, thing.
It's your hard work. Like you said earlier, I wasn't the best athlete. Are you the best musician? No, but it's your hard work driven you to where you're at.
Right.
That's the coolest part about it. It's you're in a fire.
And it's the same. It's like, to be a successful musician, it takes the same thing to be a successful, probably anything, but athlete as well. It's like, really, the guys who succeed, like, you get lucky.
Yeah, you need some luck.
Like,
in
there's
music.
there's a lot of luck. Like, I know guys who played professional sports and all kinds of things, and you hear their stories, and it's like, well, I got lucky because I got drafted by the Cubs, and they needed somebody who could hit the ball, and I could hit the ball, and that coach, and I fit the system, or you know, whatever it was, and let me have 8 years in the league. You know, or whatever it was. And that's music too. It's like, well, I like this hit at that time and it gave me a career here, or this deal, you know. We've all got 1,000 things that have gone wrong, but at some point we all got lucky.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's you know what, thank the man upstairs for that one, because that's just like, yes,
right.
This is it. I mean, like you said earlier, you know, Michael Jordan was your GOAT. Mm-hmm. Who's your GOAT in music?
Oh gosh.
Who's your inspiration that you wanted to become, you know, growing up? And you know, you had your sports background, and then you had your musician background going, you know, if I want to do something, this is my idol. You know, I want to be.
I don't know if I had like one person. I think there were like groups that I followed. There were like, I would, in Nashville, I can play a bunch of stuff and I'm pretty good. Like, if I was in Oklahoma, I'd say, yeah, I'm a guitar player, or I'm a piano player. In Nashville, I don't claim too much of that. I'm like, I can sing, because I know I can hold my own in that. But so there were singers that it was like, oh, those guys, I'm going to rip everything off from those guys that I can, you know. And so there were guys growing up, and I loved pop music and stuff like that. And so I was a big like melody person. Even like writing songs is still the thing that I do the most, is I come up with melodies, you know, really well. And so
all right, give us a name.
Well,
You're
they're going to
sound
sound weird.
No matter.
Like the first Justin Timberlake record called Justified came out when I was like a junior in high school, maybe. And so I listened to that album until I could like sing every note exactly like him, you know. And there have been a bunch of like, there's a guy named Ryan Tedder who's in a big band called One Republic. He's from Tulsa too.
Okay.
And he was, what year did that come out? Did you pull it up? Is it 01?
2002,
02?
actually.
There you go.
There it is.
So it's like guys like that, and there's been 1,000 more where I'm like, oh, that's amazing. I'm going to rip this and put it, you know, and you kind of put it in your bag of tricks and things, and eventually it all becomes you know, at some point over a lot of years.
It's almost like, you know, you take in, I would say, to become the best parent or best person whoever you are, you take bits and pieces of people.
Right.
And that's who I want to become. I would say, people are like fruit. You give good vitamin C, he gives good vitamin D. So I want to absorb all these vitamin Ds and to be that best person. Are we perfect? Absolutely not. But we always try to become better than who we were yesterday.
Right.
And that's what's great about that. That's
Yep.
awesome. If you had a chance, say, okay, you can play a stage with anybody.
Ooh,
Anybody.
dead or alive?
Both.
Okay.
Dead and alive.
Alive. There's an artist named Tori Kelly, and I think she's the best vocalist in the world.
Really?
She's so good. I would love to do something with her.
Okay.
And I've played with a bunch of people.
You play with Striper?
You know what? I haven't. I probably could.
Love Striper.
is,
It's always something we
that's
always
pretty
talk about.
funny.
I think we do Stripers.
I have played with some of those bands from that time and that era and genre and things, which is pretty fun. Oh gosh, well they kind of were like this weird. They had a foot in the Christian world and like mainstream metal kind of in that space, and so there's some Christian bands that were big at that time. One's called Petra, which was like the first rock album my parents let me get, and I played with them. They live here in Franklin. Actually, most of them do. I'm trying to think. I know I've done some, like, who's the Every Rose Has Its Thorn guy?
Poison.
Yeah, Bret Michaels. I did something with Bret Michaels years ago.
Really?
Before, like, my band now kind of sits in the Christian space primarily. But before, when we first started, it was all kind of mainstream pop. And so for a lot of years, we just got thrown out with, if there was a cool band coming through the state, we would open up for them. So I got to open up for a lot of cool people.
Nice. So who would you play now? So you have her, and now who else would you play that's...
She would be like a current one. How about not dead, but maybe in a different time period.
Okay.
I would love to do a little like Led Zeppelin,
Nice.
like
Okay.
at their peak.
Okay.
I think that would be kind of awesome.
That's awesome. All right.
Like electric or some of their acoustic stuff?
No, electric, like full on, get the lead out.
Yeah, I think you could do that.
Yeah. His voice,
I
absolutely.
could work out. There's a song on the new record that we took a little bit Zeppelin-y on the back end of it, and it's
What song?
pretty fun. A song called God in Real Life, and it's like it's almost Beatlesy and gets Hey Jude at the end, but it's really more Robert Plant in the vocal, and we did some of the kind of the same types of things as you get to the end. So it's very like, sounds like just a nice pretty song up top, and in the back end it's a song about real life. And I was like, well, if it's a song about real life, it should probably fall apart. Like, you know what I mean? It should feel like it's going to crash and burn at some point, and then we'll bring it back. And so that's kind of what it does. It just goes off in a real big Led Zeppelin-y, Robert Plant, big vocal thing. It's kind of crazy. So it's fun.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, that song you will love. There you go.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, fast forward about 3 minutes, see where it gets you.
There you go.
Right about there. Yeah, listen to this for a second.
Oh, yeah, I hear it. I like that.
And then it's like 2 minutes of this.
It kind of makes me think a whole lot of love.
Yeah, right, a little bit of that. just need a little instrumental every once in a while, you know? Just let it go.
I would tell you, I didn't know you had long hair like that. I always see
Well, it's always up.
It's always up.
It's always up.
His hair's really long.
Oh, no.
I'm like, what's going on here? Where
Because it annoys me all the time. I don't want it in my face. And most of the time, I'm either coming back from the gym or going to run or doing something. It's like,
and this is another thing, you're running stuff.
yeah,
While running around the neighborhood.
all the
with
time.
your shirt off.
It's a lot.
I got to be honest with you. I can't look at myself again. I see that. I'm like, man, he got to put his. So if I drive by and somebody just throws a shirt at you, as you drive,
That's fine.
Jogging, guess what? You got to put it on because I'm going to drive back at that shirt.
That's right. I told my wife I'm just gonna be like the naked running Franklin guy, you know. So it's this tiny little shorts, and it's too freaking hot.
Yeah.
I don't. There's
It's
chafing
winter time,
involved.
no,
It's like
winter, he's wearing no shirt. I'm like, I'm freezing. He's got no shirt.
if it's over 50, I'm probably. It's because I probably ran 8 miles or something, you know.
Well, you're going to start running again, Seth, is what you keep promising us.
Well, I am gonna
I
lose
think
some
this
And I
man's
see
an
your wife out there
inspiration.
running.
Well, she's running, but
She's getting after it.
She definitely now. She got my son to run
Yeah.
now, and I'm gonna have Coral. Do you think you should start running too? No, she's not running. She's not gonna run.
I never thought I would in my whole life. I hated it. And then now it's
Beating on your knees.
it is it's a whole
But
thing.
it makes you feel so good when you
You've
complete that
accomplished
new mile, the
something.
next mile. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, it does something for me now.
You guys are really not helping the situation.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go get a bag of chips.
I did eat some chips today though, so I honestly I run so I can eat the chips.
Yeah,
That's it.
I get you. Have a nice
I'm gonna do the
coffee.
easy way. I'm just not gonna eat.
Well, I don't know. You got to enjoy life somewhere.
Yeah, no. I'm 53.
You got enough in.
I got enough. I did my half marathons too. I did. I have my little medals too. So I did about 10 or 11 of them.
More than me.
And it hurts every single time I'm finished with them. So it hurts. And I gotta tell you, going back to the other thing is, you played a song too on the new album Roses. And I really like that song too. When you played that, and then you said, this song is very hard for me to sing and play the piano at the same time. Right? And I listened to the song and I go, it's got to be pretty tough because it's a great song.
Thanks, man.
I really, really liked it. And it's funny because we were talking today and I'm singing the song in my head all day long. And it's the You Are Love song too. I'm like, I knew that song, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. You don't know who's in your backyard. Like this house right here, you know whose house this used to be?
No.
Good. You want to tell them whose this house used to be?
It's Kevin Dyson's old house, and now I'm looking at you, Coral. This is your moment of truth because we need to get Kevin on the show. But yeah, he lived here in 2000 when they went to the Super Bowl, and so.
If you go ahead and reach for like the refrigerator, the door, here it comes, my joke, and you're always a yard short, you know what happens. You're like, oh, what just happened?
Or you could have a miracle.
Okay.
Or you could go 80 yards and have a miracle.
Yeah, you
How about
could.
that?
I've got another music meets sports story for you guys. Last year, since we're talking about football, last year I did this event with a group, really good friends of mine, and really good friends of one of the members of this group are the Roethlisbergers.
Oh, wow.
So we went and did a private event at their farm. So got to stay on property and like farm's incredible. Like nicest house, I've ever been in. I could live there. It was great. Did this great event, and then they invited us over to Ben's house, like to have dinner. Crazy. I mean, you got a good spot here. Like, this is a good setup. This is a great man cave. You know what I mean? He didn't have any of his cars in his basement, but you go down to his basement and it's like, first he's got a sports bar that has everything that you could ever ask for. Like, there's not anything that he doesn't have that you would want. But it's all of his like memorabilia and stuff. He's got a whole wall of Hall of Fame quarterbacks signed like jerseys, and I was like, Ben, I don't want to be this guy, but can I have video and send this back to my dad because he's gonna think it's crazy. And I mean, it's everybody, He's got all of his cleats and then footballs. It looks like a sports bar. Huge place to watch games, like huge couch and stuff, as big as this whole area, big TV. Then on the back side, he has a whole room that's probably bigger than this. That's just putting greens. So he can practice putt and then down in this little sunken area. It looks like the locker room of a golf club, and he's got a golf simulator in there, which is incredible, with like the Tiger Woods stuff and like all the guys. Then on the other side, you can go down further, and it's like rock and all of this crazy stuff into this like dungeon where it's like his wine cellar and cigar smoking room. And so, I mean, just insane. And so I find myself as a musician, like there's not a lot of difference between like singers, athletes, and then, who's the third one that I get a lot? But a lot of times, like athletes and singers, or actors, are kind of in that too. It's like you're all kind of the same person. It takes the same type of person to like be successful in each thing, and so you wind up like collecting friends that are kind of in the same deal. But that was one of those moments that I still like tell King about. I'm like, man.
Hey, Ben, we're coming up. We'll hang out.
I did have, like, last summer we went up and saw the Fever play basketball, WNBA team. Okay. I see Caitlin Clark and stuff, and they've got this really cool sports thing for kids. It's like a museum, but interactive. So they've got every sport, and you can play. And so outside, there's like basketball courts, there's football field, there's hockey, there's all this stuff.
They've got field goals.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been there.
And so
it's tough, man.
Kingston goes out there, and they've got a whole quarterback thing they run you through, and then you're throwing through the stuff, like the holes or whatever at 10, 20, 30 yards, Kingston's running these routes, and I mean, just zinging them through the hole. And I'm like...
Wrong sport. Come on, King.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I might have to call Ben and be like, hey, is this like, you got to tell me. I don't know if he's got anything, but is there something going on here, So I've thought about that, but I didn't do it. And I also almost, between us, I almost thought, like, I got paid to come play that thing, but he paid me from a personal check. And I thought, I think this check might be worth more than I got paid to come play. It's like, maybe I shouldn't cash this. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't cash this thing. I'll just keep it,
Like Ricky Henderson did, his first paycheck. He put it in the wall.
I should have done it. I didn't do it.
Oh, man. But that's awesome, though. That to do it now. So anybody here, obviously, I mean, this is like the Mecca.
Right.
So you probably run into people all the time. And did they ever say, hey, let's go jam together, or let's write something for me? Or
every once in a while, I try to stay away from the places where you run into those people, just because for some reason I like doing this better than and seeing like people who are I call this real life, and all of that is kind of fake life. So when people ask me how I'm doing, I'm like, well, in real life, I'm pretty good. And I've learned to kind of separate those two worlds. Now, and I have good friends kind of that are part of that too. But for the most part, when I'm home, man, I'm home. I'm dad, and
you're Chris. That's it. You want to take out the garbage? Okay,
yep,
I got it.
That's it. I'm getting mad if we miss recycle day, and just like everybody else.
That's what's great about it too, because this is, the Northeast. People have this perception of that, like, oh my God, here it's great. It's funny. Back in the day, like when at my old job, I used to tell people, I said, what I want to do is the job I want to do is dress up as in like panda bear outfits, and then meet with like musicians and sports people and go, hey, listen, I know you don't want to be bothered. You just want to hang out and enjoy yourself. Here's my card. Say you're going to be downtown somewhere, whatever. This was I was in New York. I'm going to be downtown Manhattan tonight. I just want to have a good time with me and my wife and enjoy. Listen, if the paparazzi comes, the pandas need it. So, like, when they come and take pictures,
you're just distracting everybody.
Jump up in panda outfits and just jump in front of people's faces. How cool would that be?
You could probably get on retainer with some people with that one, I would think.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But not in Nashville, because everybody's cool here. Exactly. Like, we see celebrities, and it's like, hey, maybe you know them, but
yeah, there's a bit of like
It's cool.
Yeah, people are pretty cool.
We're used to it.
When I grew up in Owasso, right? So that also happens to be the town that Garth Brooks disappeared to when he retired for that season. So he bought like a mountain just outside of town. And so you would see him in town, and it's kind of like this version of me, right? It's like he was either in Oklahoma State Cowboys sweats, or coveralls, coming off of his farm. And so he looked like a guy who kind of looked like Garth Brooks, you know what I mean? But, he'd go to the pizza place and people would line up, and I remember as a kid, I never went and talked to him, but I would see him in restaurants and things all the time. And I didn't really have a concept of how big he was. But I remember noting how kind he was to people, because he would sit there and talk to every single person every time. And he didn't come out all the time, but and then you'd hear stories of him just doing crazy things for people, but yeah, Nashville's a little bit more like, we're going to let him chill.
That's why I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just like, hey, that's such and such. Oh, that's such. And I was, when I first moved here, buddy of mine, we go to a lot of the hockey games. We had the all-inclusive section, and we'd be in the elevator. He goes, you know what that is? I'm like, no, what's that? And I don't know country music. I wouldn't even know. I know Jolly Daniels. And I know, what's her name? Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
That was probably it, And then all of a sudden he's like, this is such and such. I said, who is he? Is it James Hetfield from Metallica? No,
That's right.
I don't know him, But but it's amazing. Everywhere you look, especially downtown Franklin.
Oh, yeah.
You go to get a coffee down in, Starbucks, you're like, that's such and such.
Yep.
Oh, wow. And you hear stories, they're everywhere here. And then that's what's great. This is such a place that no one just leave them alone.
Yeah.
Just leave them alone.
It's an easy place. This has been a good place for that. It's a good place to raise kids.
Yes.
Especially right where we live and close to here, you can't beat this little area. So nice.
We're perfect too because we are close to the end 65. Mm-hmm. And some people are like, we're in Leapers Fork. We really want to be out. It takes forever just to get anywhere. You can't go to the grocery store. You can't do anything. You're out there in the farm, like way out there, and you go.
I don't leave our mile.
No.
You know what I mean? I really don't.
It's sweet because from here I can walk to all those new restaurants, and it's like a 5-minute walk.
Oh,
and so
yeah.
it's going to be hard to ever leave. They're throwing up a new one now, Culinary Dropout.
I don't even know what this means.
Which is like a British gastro pub place
Okay.
they're going to have live music and stuff.
Shocking.
But there's so many different options. And then you've got the factory right there, which is really blowing up. And then downtown Franklin, it's like having urban options, but without all
You really
the
don't
extra.
You don't need to go out downtown to Nashville.
No. We never go.
No, I'm not a big fan of it. And if we do go, if someone comes into town like a buddy,
That's it.
I'll go at like 10, 12 o'clock and leave at 8 o'clock because I'm not going out past 8 o'clock down there.
Oh, I take people at 10 a.m. if they want to go, because we can get lunch and it's as crazy as I want to be.
Yes.
And all the same things are still happening. You still get the bands. You can still it's still busy.
Without the riffraff.
Yeah.
And it has changed. When did you come into Nashville?
We moved out here in 17.
So you were 17, okay.
Yeah. So we've been out here 8 years.
And music brought you here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've been traveling out here, for a long, long time.
Okay.
Really long time.
What made that decision with you and the wife and going, hey, let's really do this?
Oh gosh.
Tough?
It's a long story, but really it's like me sacrificing my family on the altar of everything I was doing, and so I was working at this big church. I was touring full time, making a ton of money, and my wife was a single mom at home by herself. And so moving here was, in short, really just like bringing our family together and changing our lives in kind of a big way. And so it's been really good. Been really good for us.
So do you think you learn much from being the music director at church? Do you incorporate any of those experiences into your live performances?
It's just like coaching, sports for kids. It's the same type of mentorship, right? It's the same type of leadership. Like I'd say even on a team, right? Now you're going to have people who are, so I'm going to relate this to the podcast. You're going to have players who are better than others, right? Who are going to play their roles. But really, if you made the team, you can play baseball.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
If you're on the stage, you can play music, right? So I'm going to help you do that the way that you do that. I'm going to hopefully help you become the best version of you in that. So like 90% of those jobs is really like mentoring and like managing people. And so I think you learn that piece a lot. And I think that's probably the piece I learned the most, because I've been pretty good at music for a long time. And so I probably, going into some of those jobs, it's like saying, well, I'm great at basketball, I can be a basketball coach. Well, not really. Some of the best coaches were the kids who were like the water boys who watched the games. You know what I mean? And so you've got to, you really have to learn how to manage people, and then how to mentor. And that's something that I like to do. I haven't done a lot of it since we moved here, but who knows? Maybe, another chapter down the road, we'll do it again.
Speaking about mentoring, the kids, your kids, do they play instruments too, or are they musically inclined like Dad? Do they want to do it?
King probably doesn't want to at all. He could, like when he was younger, he acted like he wanted to, and then he took up basketball pretty hard. Parker is our daughter, and she's actually the most athletic kid I have. She's the most she picks anything up and is pretty good at it. But she's a perfectionist, so she wants to be great immediately.
I wonder where she gets that from.
So we haven't been able to keep her in too much, but this week she tries out for tennis.
Okay.
So we'll see. But she's also she's doing cello, and she did choir and all that kind of stuff. So she's really putting herself out there. She told me she wants to take acting classes. So
right.
We'll see where that goes.
We get to put her in the movie with Welkers.
I know. I need to send her over there and be like, hey, I have this out of my wheelhouse. What do you guys got?
Well, Camden's got some stuff going on. He's got to go fly out to L.A. He got an award.
Did he really?
He's not got an award. He's up for
He's up for something?
Well, we got to do this in L.A.
Yeah.
L.A. Go ahead, say it.
I'm just going to say it how I say it, L.A.
Well, tell us about this new album here. It just came out a couple weeks ago. It's called Roses.
It is.
What's the sort of theme, or what were you thinking when you were working on this?
Man, long story short, this is the first record I've produced myself. So if you listen to it, it's pretty much, it's a big throwback. It's like very vintage, very 1970s, very like Eagles, Stevie Wonder, Hall & Oates, that kind of stuff, with my vocal on it, which is very, very like modern pop. So it's an interesting thing. And then the whole concept, like every song on the record is really just about, like finding God in all of the normal places. I think sometimes, like especially in the faith world, people think, which is where I spend a lot of my time, people like think that God only moves in these huge, like miraculous moments. And I'm like, actually, I think most of the time it's like in coaching our kids' basketball teams and like bedtimes and running marathon in Alaska and, whatever like mundane, normal thing is going on in your life. I'm like, no, I think God's moving through there, and that's where we can meet him the most. And so that's pretty much what this whole record is about.
And are you going out on tour here at all?
Yeah, I'm working on it. We'll start playing. Gosh, I've been home a whole lot this year, more than I've been in a long, long time. So I need to go work this year.
So, are you going to set it up, or you have someone set it up for you?
A little bit of all of it.
Okay.
I've got people that help with all that kind of stuff, but I still do a lot of it as well.
You're running the show now.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a tour bus and everything? You do go around?
We do. So, like, it just depends on the tour. So, actually now a friend of mine owns like a bunch of buses, and so I rent buses from him and kind of figure out the best, most economical way to do it. And so
that's actually kind of interesting too, if you think about it. So, all right, we're going to go on tour. When do we do this? How do we it's almost like we got to set up a map.
You got to route it well. Yeah. So
make what venues would take you and what venues want you, or who else is going to be with you during these trips? Who can do this? Now, would you be headlining, or would you be opening up with this tour?
I'll probably this fall I'll headline some stuff, which would be just smaller shows. I'd do both. So it just depends. But yeah, there's a billion things that kind of go into all of it.
You gonna do the pilgrimage?
Man, I wish. I think John Mayer's doing it this year. Should be fun.
Can you get into it? Can you say, hey, I want to be in it?
Like to play?
Yeah.
I probably couldn't do that.
Really?
But I mean, maybe if I like tried real hard for next year or something, I could probably get a hold of the people.
This is your home, man. It's like,
Yeah.
You can walk there.
I could.
Well, there's a lot of music coming out of Franklin, and I think I saw you played with Paramore. Did you open up for Paramore?
I probably have, yeah, early on, like really, really early on.
And then you've got like Colony House is also doing things out of Franklin. I mean, it's
a bunch of most of like our genre is in Franklin, and then it's kind of like country music too. If you've got kids, you're in Franklin, or somewhere out here. So a lot of us are down here.
It was funny because I know last night. Have you ever been to the place over here in Franklin, the quarry, almost like the rock quarry?
Yeah. What is that place called? First Bank or whatever.
Amphitheater?
Yeah.
To me, that is.
It's cool.
I saw Jamie Johnson there, Blackberry Smoke. I had no idea who they were. My buddy from New York came down. He goes, "We'll come to a concert." I was all right, and his voice was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
That place, the echo and the acoustics in that place.
It's cool.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Beautiful. There was a concert last night I kind of thought about going to see.
Who was it?
What do you call it? Hailstorm and Volbeat.
Oh, was it there?
Yeah, it was there. And I'm like, but D was in Florida, and he was like, Dad, because I like Volbeat too. He's like, Volbeat's there. I'm like, oh man, you're in Florida. So, then we had to stop. We just hung out and had a couple cocktails, and the night went differently. It went a totally different way last night. But yeah, so. But it was weird because a buddy of mine's like, Matt, we may go to the concert with his other friend Darren, and I'm like, Volbeat's down. Come on, dude. But he's really excited for next week, Collective Soul.
Oh.
And I'm like, dude, Matt, because I know you complained to me last night that we haven't brought up your name a lot, so I'm bringing it up tonight.
He's the super fan for Collective Soul.
Collective Soul. What is that song? Oh, Heaven Let Your Light Shine Down. Is that Collective Soul?
I think so, yeah.
They're one of the most underrated bands of the 90s.
That's the only song that I remember, to be honest with you.
December? You don't know December? What about To Where the River Flows?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
They don't sound the same. They're no Striper. Let's just put it to you that way.
No Striper. I'm really getting to know who you are as a human right now. This is great.
I went to that concert and threw Bibles out.
Oh my God.
All right, well, you caught us up on what you're doing next. It sounds exciting. We got to move on to a little bit of...
Our get off my lawn.
Yeah, so I didn't know all the backstory. This might be an easy one for you.
Okay,
But
let's
we're
do
gonna
this.
get started here.
Yeah. But you definitely have to get that book, the Matheny Manifesto. We're going to make sure you get that book.
Yeah, I need to get that.
So the first one is Stoops or Gundy.
Oh, man. I'm 40. I'm a man.
That's perfect that you should.
You had it.
Yeah, because, I mean, I really enjoy this guy. Let me turn your music off here. It's still going. But this is one of my favorite moments.
It's the best. I mean, there's not many clips of coaches that are any better than this.
You need to devise it other way.
That's right.
Here it is, ready?
Fiction. Here's all that kid did. He goes to class. He's respectful to the media. He's respectful to the public.
Oh, that's my favorite part.
And he's a good kid. And he's not a professional athlete. And he doesn't deserve to be kicked when he's down. That's why I don't read the newspaper. Because it's garbage. And the editor that let it come out is garbage. Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid. Write something about me or our coach.
There it
That's
is.
all I got to say.
There we know who's off your
I'm a man. I'm 40. Now, Stoops is a much better coach. Let's be honest about it. But Gundy, for sure, on that one.
It's more exciting to
That's right.
watch. But are you an Oklahoma fan or Oklahoma State?
The only time. Now, I went to OSU for a second. I graduated from University of Tulsa. So I'm a Golden Hurricane, so I'm neither. But the only time I would root for OU was back then when they would play USC. And now it'd be like an Ohio State, because the only thing worse than a Sooner fan is a Buckeyes fan, in my opinion.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Sorry about that, Sarah.
Sorry, I'm not sorry about it at all. Listen,
We had somebody. Well, what was the coach's name?
Ryan Day.
Day, and who else was the other one? Get up.
Lane Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin. That's we had that one last time.
Well, Ryan Day.
I like Ryan Day.
I don't hate anything. I don't have hate in my heart. But the Buckeyes really tempt me.
it's it's the same with Sooner fans. It's like every fan that comes, they think OU football saved their life, and they've never been to Norman. I'm like, give me a break. Come on, man.
All right, we're going to go back to basketball here.
Okay.
We got
Ooh.
Westbrook,
Okay.
or we've got Kevin Durant.
Now listen.
Now, this doesn't have to be negative. It could be who gets on your lawn, but those two guys have a history.
Who I'm picking that I is on my team? I want Westbrook all day.
Do you really?
I do.
Okay.
I think Durant's the best scorer in the history of the NBA.
Big statement right there.
Westbrook, give me a break. The dude's insane. His athleticism, one of the most athletic people to ever play basketball. One of the best guards to ever play basketball. Averaged a triple-double 2 years. People give him way more junk than they should at this point. He's a Hall of Fame dude that still goes 110%.
I'm surprised they didn't win a championship with those two.
Crazy.
That's really.
It's just injuries. It was like 3 years of injuries, and they really should have. This OKC team this year was.
You enjoyed that. Did you go to any games or?
I didn't this year. I've got a friend who's had season tickets since the first year, and so the first time I became a Westbrook fan, the day that I looked him up, he's always had really great seats. We were sitting behind the bench and playing Kobe and the Lakers, and this 18-year-old kid rose up from the free throw line and dunked on Kobe, and I was like, "Who is that?" And it was Westbrook, and I was like, That dude is crazy. Yeah. It was like that first season. They couldn't have been 20 years old. They were like 18, 19 years old, something like that. I can't remember. It was crazy.
Memphis game or Atlanta game.
Yes,
I
for
got
sure.
Another softball here. We got Reba.
Oh, man.
Or Garth Brooks. Not Chris Gaines. We're not going to talk about that. This is get on
man.
my lawn because they're
Garth
both
Brooks
so
is
great.
Garth Brooks is one of the best concerts I've ever been to. I've never seen somebody as excited to play. He was the most excited person in the room. He'd played 7 shows in 2 days, I think. And we were at like 1 a.m. He couldn't sing, and he was still going out there. But Reba's done some crazy stuff for people in Oklahoma. So there's a little hospital on the border of Oklahoma and Texas, just in the Texas border. And Reba gave a bunch of money to them, and so they've got like quarters for family to be able to stay if you've got a loved one that's sick. And so when my grandpa was sick, he passed away in that hotel. My parents were able to stay in the Reba Center. And so I don't know her. I know some people who know her well, and so I was able to send her a message and thank her for that, which is really cool. So I'm gonna go both,
Okay.
but Reba got a little more personal story to it. Yeah.
I know. Well, Goff played baseball too. I remember he went down for the Mets. He played spring training for the Mets. So.
My uncle was at OSU with Garth when they were there together. He's got some funny stories about that.
All right, from
go.
good people to more notorious people. We want the most notorious people in
Tulsa King?
Oklahoma. We got the Tulsa King, or we got the Tiger King.
I'm going Tiger King.
Oh yeah.
I'm going Tiger King. One, I haven't watched Tulsa King. I'm sure it's great. I need to. But the Tiger King, we were in Oklahoma right after that came out, and we went to the Tiger thing. It was still open. And so what was the lady's name that like got it from him, who was Carol Baskins?
Oh, Carol.
So like, I kid you not, like to enter the Tiger thing, it's not like she changed it or made it better. She just got it. And then you had to Venmo her personally, her personal Venmo to get in and see the Tigers. So I'm Tiger King all day.
You're Tiger King.
Yeah.
That's
pretty
crazy.
cool.
All right,
like it.
Seth, you said you had.
Yeah. I got to like usually my choice.
We're gonna wrap it up here, but
My choice. I usually go a rant right about.
Okay.
The music would go. He always puts the.
we're gonna do it without music. We're gonna go unplugged tonight.
Because you know why? Because you're a nice guy. That's why. We're not going to go full board rant. I'm
All right.
not screaming and yelling or anything. I said, I brought this up. I said, Chris is just such a super guy, and he just makes me nice. You are. You make me nice, Chris, and I got to tell you, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I'm going to have the best rest of the day. You make 2 days, I'm going to have the 2 best days, but he is going to put the colors on. There we go.
All right.
There it is. My rant today. First thing, I do want to give a shout out. Since we had Little League World Series on, we shout out to the Nolensville team that represented Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
In the Little League World Series. They came up a little short here in the Southeast region. Great time, I'm sure, with those boys. I know it was a little rough. They lost 2 games, and they got knocked out. 2 boys on that team that I've coached before. Great kids, great people, great family. One of the coaches, too, I coached with him a couple times, too, and I coached against him over the years, too. Great dude, really, passionate about baseball, passionate about his kid, and passionate about coaching too. JR, there you are, man. Congratulations out there. You got good kids out there. But I know it's just something that's, we'll go back to baseball here a little bit, and the Little League World Series, but I do have a little, not per se that team, but just in general. Like we were watching it before, and it was a team, I guess, from Florida or something. I still don't fathom how they let their kids throw curveballs at this age. It's just
that elbow thing.
I don't know. It still bothers me because, again, they're out to look for winning.
Yeah.
And the final is the win. And I get it. You're in a high-profile area, but is that best for the kid to throw curveballs at 12 years old? Putting so much pressure on a growth plate on a kid's arm. Some people will argue and say, well, if they do it right, do it correctly, the kids are still growing. Learn how to throw a fastball, learn how to locate the fastball, and then throw a changeup. No curveballs at this age.
I feel the same way about 3-pointers for kids.
Okay.
So, this year is probably the first year where I'll be like Kinks and let it fly. 6th, 7th grade, right? Under that, I will not let my kids shoot 3-pointers. Now, they're not going to get hurt like they would with something like that, but it's going to screw their shot up because they have to chunk it. They have to throw the ball. They're not shooting anymore. And so you're not learning the right way to shoot the ball. You're not learning the way that you need to. You're not strong enough. Yeah. Yeah, you really are. And so if we coach teams like that and some kid hit a 3, I thought it was the best. Because I'd be like, yeah, shoot 9 more, because you're gonna miss every one of them, right? And if you beat us on 3s, cool. But I even saw on the LeBron podcast, he does something. He's talking about he had friends that till 7th, 8th grade, their parents wouldn't let them shoot 3s for the same reason.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I would never realize that, but now that you described it, absolutely, you're throwing and not learning how to shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, ex-coach Seth.
Okay,
what age is appropriate to throw a curveball?
When they hit puberty.
Okay.
When they hit puberty. That's when I would say, and I know I've talked to a couple people, and if your kid is mechanically inclined on the pitcher's mound, then you can dabble with it, but not throw it. You can practice because what happens is a lot of times when you throw a curveball, your whole mechanics get thrown off. Mm-hmm. If you go, okay, let's just say hypothetically D, we're gonna start throwing curveballs, and his mechanics change, I'm gonna stop it.
Right.
I'm gonna stop it right then and there until you remind yourself that your mechanics are what has got you to where you at, instead of throwing the curveball, and it changes everything and puts more pressure on that elbow, and especially at the age that he's still growing, it could really hurt him. And that's why I would say definitely introduce him to learning how to throw a curveball when he hit puberty, but I would say 14, 15 would be the age I would say, okay. It's getting close, don't get me wrong, it's getting close. But again, when you have a longer distance too, when that curveball...
Yeah, how far are they throwing at this age?
The Little League World Series is 40-something feet or 50 feet. When they get to the next level, school ball, and they play 13U and go up, it's 60, 90. 60 feet, like the pros, 90 bases.
Yeah.
So that's where it goes. And, if you think about it, too, when you throw a changeup, at 50 feet, it doesn't move as much.
Right.
When you throw a changeup at 60 feet, it dances a lot more.
Right.
So if you learn how to really, really throw a changeup, you don't even need a curveball.
Right.
You don't even need a curveball. So learn how to locate.
You're still teaching people.
Yeah, I can always do camps and I'll do specifics, but the whole rigmarole of you're coaching a game, dealing with the parents on an everyday basis because little Johnny didn't play that position that day.
Yep.
Or the umpire would get in your face and you go, I can't stand you. Or even you have like I always say, the other coach on the other team that just walks around and thinks they're all that in a bag of chips. You're like, dude.
Plus, there's got to be like 9 other pitches you want that kid to master before they get there, right? Like,
I like the development part.
yeah.
Let the kids develop. Do go back to fundamentals. If you're fundamentally sound in any game you play, any position, you should be fine.
Right.
Everything else comes easier after that.
That's right.
There you go. Well, this is the last one, and we're going to call it, but this is sort of my rant because this time of year we're desperate. Let's be real. There's no sports on. There's a little baseball, but it's not the exciting part of the season. So you get the Ocho. And the Ocho is now on ESPN News. It's on ESPN2. The Ocho is taking over. I mean, stay in your lane, Ocho. But we've got the best and the worst of the Ocho, all right? And I saw most of these in the past 48 hours.
Quidditch.
Cornhole, hockey ball, Quidditch is weird. But pillow fighting, I think, is even weirder than Quidditch. You've got pro tag. That's actually kind of fun.
I feel like I've seen that.
And then this is something new I saw at Buffalo Wild Wings. It's called Omega Ball. Omega Ball is a circular soccer field with three goals and 3 teams.
I saw this recently.
See, you're watching the Ocho.
We have no
Must have been.
choice. It's invading. I don't know why
Have you guys
would
seen this
do that.
basketball game without the backboard? Do we know what that's called? It's like
Is it on the
women.
Ocho too?
It must. I don't think they can dribble. They just have to pass, and then I don't know. There's sports that they're just making stuff up at this point.
Well, but you said that you were invited to maybe be a pro hockey ball guy
The ball
or amateur semi-pro.
Deck hockey. The deck hockey one. I have a couple of friends of mine in Long Island that are on my team.
Okay.
On my regular ice hockey team, and they all are Greek. So they were always like, Seth, you need to come on the team. You're Greek and you have family members still in Greece. You can go ahead and try to get citizenship. And my dad literally just called me, and I called him. I said, Dad, how do I get
You can be.
dual citizenship? Because they wanted me to play goalie in ball hockey for the Greek national team.
Come on, let's go. You can make the LA Olympics.
It's funny because
Come on.
I go, my Dad, how do I do this? He goes, yeah, well, we have cousins and aunts and uncles over there. He goes, you really want to do that? I go, not really. It's an option.
Oh, I thought this was like 20 years ago. You're saying this is like
Oh, no, this was before I moved.
they're looking for 50-something goalies?
God, no, dude, I would quit. I'm not doing this. It was when I lived in New York.
I'm going to go with pro tag is probably my favorite.
Here's what we've done in my household. We've just gotten into the WNBA. So now
That was last week.
So now we have basketball all year round. So I actually need to check my fantasy WNBA league.
Oh,
Literally have
my
a
goodness.
fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
For sure.
You're a basketball nut. That's
Yeah.
for sure. There we go.
We're all in. So we got games all the time. We're never letting up.
Now, do you think it's fair what they're doing to Caitlin Clark? All these girls beating her up all the time?
No, and none of it's fair, right? Sure, like a lot of talented people have built this league. She has single-handedly created $1 billion of value for this league, and she's getting paid $75,000 or something. So even if it was me, I'd probably do it. I'd go make my own league or something. I'd be doing something. She probably could. And she's been targeted some, and which is why she's hurt. She hasn't played half this season.
Yeah, because that beat her.
And, the thing about her is people who don't know basketball, they come in and they think she's the best player. She's not the best player. She's the most fun to watch. She's not, her stats are horrible most nights. She's not efficient. She doesn't shoot like efficiently from 3 or anywhere, but when she hits them, it's real fun. She turns the ball over. She makes dumb decisions sometimes, but like she's really good when she's good. And so I think people don't understand exactly what she is. And so there's better players for sure. But no one's brought more eyes and money to that league ever than her. Yeah. So,
and like the sporting cards, have gone through the roof with her.
Right.
Her card, her rookie card, and all this other stuff. Oh, I got a Caitlin Clark rookie. Got this. Me personally, what I remember with the WNBA was Cheryl Swoops.
Right.
And what was her name? Taurasi.
Yeah, Diana, and she just retired, which is crazy. Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie, Rebecca Lobo back then, like in those early days.
Cheryl Miller.
Cynthia Cooper.
She never made the league.
She was before the league. She's too old. And she's probably the best basketball player ever.
I think it looked like Reggie, though.
She
was Reggie. I think Reggie just took that.
No, I think she was better than Reggie is the problem. I think she actually could have thrown up more points, in the NBA.
Reggie when he did this thing.
Old Hallie doing it this year. That's why I was so glad we beat them.
All right. We got. What hour are we on right now?
About 4.
We're at 100 minutes.
100 minutes. There it is, the old wrap up here. Well, I got to tell you, Chris, thank you. Thank you for taking time coming out, hanging out here with us, just shooting the breeze.
You bet, man.
And thank you so much. It's a pleasure. And again, I had no idea that you were. We got to end it with one of his songs.
Oh man.
Rose's song. There it is.
That was Mama Don't Lie right there. This is fun.
But again, I want to say thank you, Chris, for coming on the Get Off My Lawn Studios.
Come on, man. You're welcome.
Enjoying the beer league. Again, it all leads to beer league. Basketball, you get to the pros, it doesn't matter. You still end up in beer league.
That's right.
And that's what it is. And again, thank you so much, and I appreciate all your insight of coaching basketball too. So,
you're welcome, man.
Again, everybody out there, thank you so much for listening to episode 11.
Go get the new album, Roses, and follow us on TikTok, Beer League Live. Oh boy. Thank you guys.
See y'all. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
That's awesome.